When I started making Storytime videos, I already knew that the moment I upload them, that the people I talked about are going to end up finding out about the video somehow, put two and two together, and realize it's about them. And then they try to mess with me or make threats that they will do this if I don't delete the video or I make another story time about them. They want to take illegal action. And it never goes through because making a YouTube story time video is not a crime or considered bullying. Now, some people tend to take storytime videos as bullying when it isn't, unless I had someone's name, face, and all his information in the video, or I'm going around spreading shit to people. Now, you've seen YouTubers make storytime videos about people they talked about, wanting to go after them because they got butthurt over a video or something you said in the video. So I already was prepared for when that day came, when someone saw my video about them, they would want to get revenge. And sure enough, it happened with a few people. But there was this one person I haven't talked about for a while who decided to start this all over again after a year of not talking about him. Before we get into this video, hit that like button. So, I uploaded a story time that was 1 year ago, and it was about this guy who I called Ted that showed his true colors, made up lies just to get me angry at people, and worst of all, when I called him out on his bullshit, he made some people turn on me, but then it backfired and people were angry at him, and since then, I haven't heard nothing from him until now in this year. So what ended up happening is that on certain days, that either I was in a party with some friends or I'm not, this guy, Ted, would message me saying either hey or he wants to add me back on PlayStation. And he would sometimes join the PS party knowing that I'm still not going to be his friend. And there were these times he did try to start things with me even when I wasn't doing anything or I barely said anything because he would still try to pull people into his shit he does. Now there was this one time he tried to ask me some questions, but I end up telling him that I don't want to talk, and he just leaves the party. Now it was getting to a point that I don't want to be around anyone that is friends with him because I know for sure that they will believe his lies about me. Honestly, I feel like Ted has never liked me from the beginning and just used me like other people have done. And I thought that would be the last time I hear about him. Nope. I was wrong because what he did next really pissed me off and I had to confront him for the final time. So we get to the part of this story time that takes place a few days ago and this was very recently on the 24th of April. I was playing Rec Room with Chris, just having a normal day as usual. Nothing out of the ordinary and I was just calm that night. But then Chris had to go and do something and he left to his dorm while I was just talking to people. Well, a few minutes go by, and out of nowhere, I get 2 friend requests from random people that I never seen before, and I just ignored it because I rarely accept any friend requests from people. And not even a few minutes go by, and Chris invites me to his dorm. And so I join, and not only was he there, but those 2 people that sent me a friend request were there too. And I was just like, okay, this is just weird, because these 2 people add us both, and we don't even know them. That gave me a hint that they wanted to talk to us about something. Like, why else would they wanted to add me? So me and Chris asked them why they wanted to talk to us. And can you take a guess what it was about? It was literally about Jonathan from my last Storytime video I made. And I'm like, oh god, what does he want? And I could take a guess that it was about either my Storytime video I made about him or something else. That is what was going through my mind. So we all go to a private room, and those guys invite him there. And me and Chris had to unblock Jonathan just to see what he has to say. The first thing I said to Jonathan was, "What the fuck do you want now, Jonathan?" And he says, "I found out about you two." And me and Chris were confused because none of us knew what he was talking about. And when Chris asked him what he was talking about, Jonathan tells us that someone told him this big ass lie about us that made us grossed out. And so I asked him who even told him about this lie, and he says it was fucking Ted. Once he said that, I just got so pissed off. I fucking knew it had something to do with Ted. Even Chris knew that it had something to do with him as well. Jonathan kept telling us more about what Ted said, by saying that Ted said that me and Chris were being racist and homophobic when he clearly was the one calling us the N-word and homophobic slurs behind our back, and even said that people that I'm friends with and those I did videos with, he said that I was mistreating them badly or harassing them. Like, you can ask people I've done videos with and they will tell you that I never done that to them or anyone. So that really angered me more. After an hour goes by of talking to Jonathan, Chris says, okay Zendir, we need to confront Ted right now, otherwise he's just going to keep causing problems. And we needed to figure a way to talk to him. Because since this guy has a grudge against me and Chris, well, mostly me of course since he hates my ass, he probably wouldn't want to talk to us. So we asked someone who was friends with Ted to put us in a group chat, and we decided to wait until he responded. And let me tell you, I was extremely pissed. I was more pissed off than I usually am, to where I wanted to choke the hell out of someone. I mean, the entire room would be on fire due to how angry I was. And soon later, he replies saying why, and he joins. And the first thing I said to him was, what the actual fuck is wrong with you? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I say to him, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't fucking lie. And Chris says, we know that you were making up shit about us, Ted. Like, what the fuck is your problem? And he kept trying to play the victim card like he did before and tried to say he didn't do anything. But no, I was not having it. I kept going full rage mode and yelled at him. And sooner or later, I decided to say to him, I'm going to tell you this. If you continue to stalk my channel or Chris's channel, don't stop talking shit about us and move on, or you do anything else that's gonna cause a problem, there will be fucking consequences. And once I said that, he just leaves the group because he knew that he was fucked. He knew he got caught. And if you thought that was the end of it, no, it didn't end there. So a few minutes go by, and me and Chris just continued to play Rec Room, but then Chris had to get off. And as soon as he got off, out of nowhere, this random person invites me to a PS party, and then when I looked at the name, I started to remember it, because I remember Ted introduced me to this person, including his wife, but I had a problem with them that one time, and it ended badly, and Ted messages me saying, get the fuck in the party now. And I say to him, for what? And Ted replies back saying, me and my friends want to ask you some questions about the story time you made about me. And once he said that, it clicked into my head that Ted is doing all this because I made a fucking story time about him, which that video was 1 year ago and it was old shit. So what I thought was, this guy can't let go of the past and is holding a grudge against me. And Ted continued to say that I was still talking shit about him in Storytime videos, and it made people attack him and that people were trying to get him banned, when I never once done that in any of my videos, except the New Year video and the one from 1 year ago. I never said his name or any information that could lead back to him. The only reason why people would still go after him is because he's either telling people about my channel and the video, knowing that I don't want people to figure out who I'm talking about, and they start going after people or him, and then it turns into a bad situation. So Ted telling people about the video, it's screwing him over, not me. So because I was refusing to go into the PS party, his asshole of a friend decides to send me a message saying, get your bitch ass in the party before I drag your balls in here. And I started laughing at that, because his friend couldn't even come up with anything to scare my ass, and it wasn't even working. When people try to use scare tactics to try and force you to do something, it never goes well. Like, even Ted even threatened to get me banned if I didn't give him another chance, become his friend, and stop making Storytime videos. Fuck no, I'm not gonna stop telling stories on YouTube. When I started making these Storytimes, it helped me with things. It was better to tell stories and make other commentaries than just doing gaming videos. It's not your decision on what I do with my channel. And then he tried to pull the guilt trip by saying, you said you never wanted to lose me. And he always kept using that to see if I would give in, but it didn't work this time. I may have said that back when I was still friends with him and we had no problems, but now after everything he's done and how he showed his true colors, he brought it on himself to where he lost me himself, and I take back every nice thing I ever said about him. This guy is a fucking lunatic. Now, I was starting to wait until everyone in that PS party had left before I joined it, because I don't know if they were planning to do something the moment I joined, so I had to wait until Ted and his friend were the only ones there. And so after joining the party and as I'm talking to them about why I make story times, I noticed that Chris came back online. Once I saw that, I'm thinking, great, he's here. So I wrote him and told him what was going on, and he agreed to start a PS party between me, him, and Ted. So I went in that party and we talked there, and then I mentioned all the mistakes he made and what not to do when I make a storytime video about someone. And I even pointed out whose fault is it really that things were happening to you, and I was minding my own business. And as soon as I said that, he leaves the party and the group chat again, and that was the last time I heard from him. Now, I don't know what else he's doing right now. I bet he's stalking my channel just waiting to shit on me again and then try to make me look bad once again. He's basically coming up with something and I'm just gonna wait and see. But yeah, that's it for this story time, and the moral of this is, don't stalk people, and if you hold a grudge against someone for too long, you're gonna end up wanting to harass that person. Don't ever do that, and don't be like Ted. Now, I got a feeling this ain't gonna be the last time I saw Ted. This is probably gonna continue and he's still gonna want me gone. So I'm gonna keep you guys posted about this whole Ted's shit going on, because I don't see him stopping anytime soon. So be prepared for a part 3 to this whole Ted saga. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.